whole pile of stuff today, and usually when these sales happen, I'll go live and we'll watch the stuff end. I'm kind of looking off screen right now, just seeing if it's officially gone live or not yet. I don't think so. Not quite yet. I think in just a few minutes we're going to see it go live and we'll be able to follow along. Now, if you're watching this right now, you're watching this live, you can log into bidlive.kauctions.ca or just go to the Kastner Auctions website and you can find the link for the Curiosity sale and you can follow along and watch stuff end in real time. Or even better, yeah, you can place some bids if you want to see some things come to your door that we found here on my channel and through my adventures. I'm a little bit ahead of myself when it comes to the videos right now. I am putting stuff up for auction that you probably won't see me find until later. So there's some really great stuff. So if you ask later on, hey, how can I buy that? Well, today was the day. Anyway, I'm excited. We have a lot of really great things going up for auction day, including 2 Rolex watches, a 1956 Meritus, which was a pretty rare piece, and a World War II Rolex timepiece. We've got a bunch of antique silver items. There's coins, there's jewelry, there's just a lot of fun collectibles. So I hope it's going to be a good sale today. Before we get into it, I have to tell you guys, I was out at a guy's place the other day. I told Melissa this story and she's been making fun of me over it. A guy emailed me and he said, do you want to come over and look at some sports cards that I have for sale? And his name is Gord. And so I said, sure, I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'll pop on over. So this is like a couple days ago. So I sent him a message, sent him a text, and I said, hey, Gord, just making sure you're on for 2 p.m. But it auto-corrected to, hey, gorgeous, are you still on for 2 p.m.? So as a total stranger, I'm calling gorgeous, and I didn't catch it until he wrote me back and said, sure am, sweetie, I'll put something pretty on. Anyways, turned out he had a good sense of humor, and I did end up going over and buying some cards from the guy. So I said, hey, you must be Gorgeous Gord. Anyway, it's just been, I had all kinds of weird stuff going on. I went over to my mom's place the other day, and that was yesterday, actually. I went to my mom's place, and she had a hard-boiled egg in the fridge, and she's like, I don't want to eat it, and I was like, well, I am not going to throw it out. I guess I'll eat it. So I took the hard-boiled egg and I put it in the microwave to heat it up so it was a little bit warmer and put it in for 30 seconds. Now you might be thinking, oh, that's maybe it blew up in the microwave or something. Well, you'd be wrong. It came out looking totally fine. But as I'm carrying this hard-boiled egg over to eat, it's making kind of a weird sound like a weird kind of clicking sound. and it looks normal, and I'm looking at it and it looks normal. The egg looks totally fine. And so I go, okay, so I put a little salt and pepper on it, and I go and I sit down by my mom, and I kind of see the egg twitch, like it does one of these, like, doot, doot. Sorry, there's paint on my hand, by the way. I was painting earlier. Anyway, I see the egg do like a little twitch, and I go, oh, that's weird. And between the sound of the crackling noise and the twitch, it didn't clue into me that I was in for trouble. And so I took my fork and I went to take a big bite of this egg, and it blew up like a grenade all over. Literally, it was like in my eyebrows. I had to pick the egg shrapnel out of my eyebrows and my hair, and it was all over myself, and I had to go get a towel and clean up my mom's chair and myself. It left like a shadow of where I was sitting on her chair. Like the blast was, it was like, you know, in Japan after the war when they had those shadows up, but it was me with egg. It was awful. Anyway. So I've just had some weird stuff going on around here. Between calling this stranger Gorgeous Gord by mistake and then getting egg literally all over my face. I'm looking forward to maybe a more calm day today and hoping that this auction does well. So let me see. It's 11 o'clock now. Usually I get a little notification here saying that oh, there it is, live now. I just had to refresh. Oh, it's more fun when there's an auctioneer doing this as well, but let's see if I can kind of get this more or less. Right now, we've got this 2005 sterling silver coin. What looks like it went for $90. This book is autographed not just by Wayne Gretzky, but by a ton of different hockey players. And you'll see when I find this thing, it is absolutely an insane storage locker that this thing came out of. This video will come out later on. 45 is a good price on that. This is a lot of 1980s hockey card packs. Now the backs were open on them, although they're full of really mint cards. $110. Somebody probably just liked the wax, the packages themselves. Well, I'm not getting, where's the notification bell? 130 bucks already. Let's see. Usually there's a little like ding, ding, ding as it's getting bid on. I guess I'll just have to make the noises for you guys because I'm fancy like that. Ding, ba-da-ding, 140. Jeebus. Okay, so somebody named Jeebus is bidding on it. $140 the bid right now on that. And there it goes. There's a lot of assorted world money and a couple of Buddhas for good luck. $15 is the bid on that right now. I guess we'll see how that all goes. Incidentally, when you're putting together a sale like this, you're just trying to put together things that you think might sell individually. So that went for $15. That's fine. Royal Jubilee coins from Silver Jubilee and 80th birthday of the Queen Mum. $35 for these collector coins. And you kind of don't know whether it would have been better to put things together as a lot or sell them individually. So there's a pack of Return of the Jedi cards. It's been open, but their cards are like mint in there. So somebody's going to be happy with that. And it's not like you find packs of old 80s Star Wars cards very often. Where's the live chat? Where are you guys chatting with me right now? I can't see anything coming up right now. Let's see if I can. Where is the chatter box? Well, I'm not seeing any conversation popping up. So anyway, if you're there, say howdy, say hello. Oh, here we go. This is a neat piece. Grimshaw handled hunting knife with sheath. It's got sort of a country farm scene carved into it. Bone handled knife. Oh, hello from Denmark. There we go. I see you now. $170 a bit on that knife. And there is an awful lot of antique and cool pocket knives at this sale today. Antique letter opener with knife handle. Oh yeah, it has a little pocket knife built into the handle. It's like a bone handle. $17.50. Will it go any higher? Nope. There's another hunting knife with a leather sheath. I bought you'll see over this month that I'm going through a bunch of bins that I bought from an estate, and these came out of one of those bins of just really cool stuff. I think every couple days I put out a video of what's in the bin basically. And what's coming up next, the large antique sword brooch, these things actually sell online for a lot of money. And this is an 1800s silver hunting knife. It's a really cool, rare antique piece. 150 bucks is the bid on that. $150. And hello back at you, Mike, who's in Buffalo, New York. We see people from Denmark. This little pin right here, found them on Etsy for like 300 bucks. So somebody's going to get a good deal at 35 on that. Last call. Will somebody, hopefully somebody Googled these and they can see what they're worth. But I guess today it was worth $35. Little gold-plated pin. Can you buy from the Netherlands? Why, sure you can. They'll ship anywhere. I think the way that this auction house is set up, and part of the reason why I use them is that they are willing to ship anywhere. And a lot of auction houses locally will only allow local pickup or local shipping. So it's nice to have an auction house that is able to ship all over the world. Maria Sharapova, a collection of her cards, $17.50 right there. $20 bid now. And we do have a Michael Jordan rookie card coming up next, which is kind of cool because it's the Michael Jordan baseball rookie card when he had to go play baseball for a season and had to step away from basketball for a little bit. If you watch the documentary, that was a pretty wild time in the 1990s. And Dennis says, live long and prosper. Very Star Trek of you. We have a guy at our Costco. You know, if you go to a Costco, maybe you don't have one where you are, but they have people at the doors that ask you to check your papers. Anyway, So I was at Costco. Oh, there's the Michael Jordan card, $35 on that. The guy at the Costco door was a Star Trek fan, and he had the Star Trek lapel pin and stuff like that. So every time I leave, I say something to him that's Star Trek related. And this last time I said, Sulu later. I don't think he's caught any of my subtle Star Trek puns or jokes, but that's okay. Sometimes the jokes are just for me, even if I'm the only one laughing. $15 the bid on this 92 Michael Jordan basketball card. Fairly early. And actually, that's an important part of his career, the 90s. Although they mass-produced the cards at that point, that was a prime time for Michael Jordan. So, hello from Worcester, UK. One of the most complicated English words to have to say. I don't know why. There's way more vowels in there than you think a person would need. They don't give you much time to rebid, says Bam. Yeah, I mean, it's just seconds. It'll go up incrementally. Like if a person bids, I think it adds another minute or something to it. But they do want to make sure that the auction doesn't go all day either. So things do have to go at a certain time. So if a person wants it, you got to bid on it. $15 on the Michael Jordan, the 91. Somebody might end up with a nice Michael Jordan collection at the entry price of $15. And incidentally, that's in Canadian funds. So that's probably like $11 or something US. Hello in New Zealand. And hello to my friend Bob Harder out there. Bob, I was trying to write you the other day because I found a bottle which is actually at this auction that I'm on right now. It was an onion bottle. And I know you were collecting those for a while, and I didn't know if you could tell me more about it. But anyway, there is an antique onion bottle in this auction that you should put your peepers on. Have a look at it and see what you think. So we've got a few basketball cards. We get into some baseball cards, some currency coming up here. These, I wonder if anybody's put any bids on these Star Wars cards. These things are really expensive online. Gosh, where is it? These 2024 Star Wars cards that are incredibly hard to find. Oh, Bob says, Bob, can you have a look at it? It looks to me like it's an onion bottle, and then it's got like a metal cap or lid on it. Anyway, the guy that I got it from was a collector of antique artifacts and really cool, interesting things. So it might be something, it might not, I don't know. Anyway, it was a neat piece. So looks like we've got some basketball cards that are being passed now, which means that they will come back up at the end of the sale. Anytime something gets passed in an auction, a lot of times people wonder what happens. If somebody doesn't place the opening bid on it, on the card, it'll show up at the end of the sale, and they might lower the opening bid down to say $7.50. And if there's no bids on that, then they'll call me to come pick the stuff up, or they'll try running it through another sale down the road, because there might be a sale they're doing that's mostly baseball or basketball cards, and that might have another a little bit more interest there. Ivy says, hi, another Kiwi from New Zealand, Sunday morning here, 7 a.m. Oh, it's tomorrow. We're still on Saturday here right now. It's Saturday, 11 a.m. for me. Hello to the future and hello from the past. -10 in Anchorage. Well, no thanks. It's actually not a bad day where I am out today. It's sunny and bright. Oh, Terry wants to know, did I buy the car for $700? From the abandoned mansion video that was a pretty cool thing. The people had moved out of this old kind of abandoned mansion. They were living in it. I guess it wasn't abandoned when they lived it, but they moved away and left all their stuff behind. And much after the fact, the family reached out because they had to sell the property and asked me to go through and buy some things. And there was an old Cadillac on the driveway. So future video will reveal what happened with all that. I guess while we're going through the baseball cards here, Pete Rose was not allowed into the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own team, but he bet on them to win. So, I mean, I don't know. The whole story of the Pete Rose scandal. I had a baseball signed by him at my old store, and it says, I should never have bet on baseball. Signed Pete Rose. But he used to do the sports card junctions and show up and signs. He's one of the best baseball players from that era. And definitely You know, one of the greats for sure. Had a misstep when he was a coach betting on his own team. Let's see, $15 the bid on the Reggie Jackson card. Oh no, there is no bid on it yet. Yeah, there's I'm just reading some of the comments here as you guys post them too. Yeah, we just posted that video this morning of the of that house. It was really cool. If you haven't watched the video, they had like a massive indoor swimming pool and it hadn't been opened in like decades and decades. It was kind of peeling and creepy and falling apart as old swimming pools are. Apparently it had a bunch of standing water in it. They had to empty it out before I got there, but the still water or standing water like that can be very dangerous. There's people who've on videos of abandoned buildings decided to dive into a still water swimming pool, and then they end up getting infections and have. Oh, Rose is being reversed. Oh, the Pete Rose story. So wait, he bet on them to lose or he bet on them to win? I thought he bet on them to win. Maybe Pete Rose bet on them to lose. Well, you would have definitely input in if your team lost or not. That's for sure. But if you bet on your team to win, you'd be just super confident that your team was going to win. Maybe somebody can clarify that in the comments, because I can't clearly I can't remember exactly the story. I know that he was betting and they didn't like it. We are getting into some bills coming up here. So some of the cards selling, some of them not as of right now. That's fine. As with most auctions I do, I am kind of staying focused on what the grand tally is going to be. Oh, he is going to be eligible for the Hall of Fame. Well, that would be good, in my opinion. We'll see what happens to that. Then maybe the Pete Rose cards will start to go up in value more than they are. I love that house. Just finished watching the video. Would love to have a swimming pool in the basement. I had a friend who dived into an outside unheating pool and got meningitis. Yeah, you got to be really careful, Stillwater. Here's a very early Canadian $1 bill. And yes, we did have $1 bills at one point up until the 1980s. I think they got rid of them in 86 or 7. $120 on the $1 bill. And it is in nice shape. There's another 1954 Canada $1 bill. Bob says, when do you guys put your Christmas tree up? That's a great question. Usually we put it up around my birthday, which is December 5th. Hey, my friend Dale's on. I was just hanging out with Dale. One Turbo Brick is my friend Dale. Nice to see you, Dale. Normally put the tree up around my birthday, but if I can convince Melissa, maybe we can get ours up sooner than later and just, you know, get it over with. The problem is that as I'm sneakily out buying Christmas presents for the kids and for Melissa, it's getting harder and harder to find places to hide things. And I don't want to be like Clark Griswold and find it hidden in the attic, 30 years after the fact. So having a tree to dump stuff under is good. Oh, just read Pete Rose said he never bet against his team. Against his team. Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I thought. Either way, it was for betting on baseball that he got in trouble. That's actually a miscut $2 bill. You can see it wasn't centered, that last one. Kind of an error. Another $2 bill, 1954. And there's a few of these here, so we'll see. That's a lot better than cashing it into the bank. $2 bill, you get 20 for it. Now, this particular year, they had a misprint in her hair, and there's certain bills from 54, they call it the devil's hair, because in the side of her hair right there, you could see the image of what people said looked like a devil's face or something. And it was the way the artist just made the hair, but because of that, they call them the devil's bills. Anyway, it was a little bit of, they actually recalled all those bills and redid them. And so these would be the fixed versions and not the devil's hair bills. Funny how just like a printing error or something can increase the value of a bill like that. But yeah, somebody caught it and they said, oh, if you look right here in her hair, it looks like there's the devil's face in there. And yep, they redid that in a hurry, got that fixed. I heard Gary says they just got rid of pennies in the United States. We haven't had pennies here in a long time. We haven't had $1 bills. We used to have $2 bills. So we have $1 and $2 coins. And we got rid of pennies quite some time ago, although they still turn up. When I'm doing a house clear out, you still find jars of pennies or pennies at the bottom of boxes. But honestly, I think they said it cost, what, 3 cents or something to make a penny. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, waka waka, to produce that coin, that currency. But either way, we haven't had ours in quite a while. 4 cents to make a penny. Yeah. Yeah, so that doesn't make it doesn't make a responsible case for printing or stamping pennies anymore. But if you got them, you should go cash them in, go dump them. In Canada, we don't really have those. In the United States, at the banks, it's kind of cool because you don't have to do what you do in Canada. Like when you take coins into Canada, you actually have to roll them. You have to count them, roll them, take them in rolled, and then they will put them in the bank for you. I took a bunch of American coins that I'd taken a ton of time to roll when I went to visit my sister in the United States. It's a couple years back, and they said, "Why did you roll these? We need them unrolled." And they just dumped them all on a coin counter, and the coin counter does it all for you, which is nice. So if you got a whole bunch of pennies, you can go dump them in a coin counter and get your money that. If you find a big thing of pennies, save it for Josh. He wants to build another penny counter. 54 $20 bill, 35 bucks on that. These are all circulated, but you know, if somebody does collect bills, and some people just collect even certain numbers too, so you never know. You can get taken to places where you dump them at the grocery store, they take a percentage. Yeah, but then you're losing money. You may as well just go dump it at the actual bank, right? I know my sister's bank, they have just a big coin catcher machine. You just go dump it in like a trough, and it just spits out all my accidental Canadian money that got mixed in there. He says I got rid of all the small coins a while ago. Ivy, where are you, in Australia? I can't remember. Oh, then Gary says he likes to look at the Canadian bills. Yeah, our newer bills are very European looking with the clear panel, and they're colorful. How's the auction scene in Canada, I'm asked. It is really hit and miss. You just never know. Oh, there's a 1974 Governor General silver medallion set. And there are, well, it says 4, but I see 2 medallions there. But I believe one of them's sterling silver. $140 bid on that. It's sort of an odd piece. Pearl necklace with a 14-karat gold clasp, $100. If you want to look like Marge Simpson or Jackie Kennedy, maybe. I don't know. It's one of those are the 2 classiest ladies I can think of. Marge. Who else wears pearls? Everybody in the 1950s. Even if you were vacuuming your house, you had a dress on, your hair done, and pearls, and high heels, and you were vacuuming and doing housework. These cards are actually worth a fair bit of money. So 25 bucks is a very fair entry point on that. These Star Wars Unlimited showcase cards are very difficult to find. Wilma Flintstone, she wore pearls. Anybody who's not a cartoon wear pearls? I'm thinking like, okay, well, Jackie O must have wore pearls. And probably Audrey Hepburn. Speak for yourself, vacuuming in your pearls. Maybe I should try it. Maybe I'm missing out on something. $30 a bid now, $35 bid on the Princess Leia, PSA graded. Oh, the Queen, yeah, the Queen wore pearls, yeah. I guess it is known to be, you know, if you ever see somebody that wants to look fancy, like in a realty picture or something. Oh, Renee says her mother-in-law wears pearls. Barbara Bush. Here's another unlimited showcase, the Grand Inquisitor, graded at a 7. Oddly, it probably cost me 30 bucks to get this graded, so wah. Sometimes you don't make a pile off of these sorts of things, but they are, you know, somebody will be happy. That's the deal with an auction. You never know what you're gonna get. But when you decide you want to sell 1,000 things, or in this case, I think I have over 1,000 items up at this sale right now, you definitely need to do it through an auction. That's just too much to try and sell independently. IG-88, famous bounty hunter robot character. This card graded as an 8, $20 a bid on that right now. Kiwi Mama says, I have pearls, but only wear them for special occasions. I feel like are people aren't really wearing costume jewelry much these days, are they? Like crystals, like you used to see those check crystals, um, or rhinestone sort of thing. Costume jewelry was a big, if you're going out somewhere fancy, you might wear costume jewelry, but I don't know if people are wearing those so much anymore. Who's to say? Maybe somebody will start wearing it and it'll come back into fashion. Star Wars Unlimited, another one. Cassian Andor, graded as an 8, which is pretty good, 1750. All Hanna-Barbera characters have a collar or a necklace because it made it easier to animate. Oh, yeah, I guess Fred and Barney had the collars of their shirts. Or they didn't have to move the body, just the head. That's funny. I guess you just have the torso and then lay the different heads underneath it. We have a lot of these cards going up right now. On eBay, they can go quite high. In fact, the Boba Fett version of this, I think, is a couple $1,000. I kept that one back for myself. Yeah, it is. It's been a lot of going out and picking and looking for stuff and getting stuff sorted, getting stuff to auction, just trying to keep things clear and clean around here. Well, somebody who's collecting this for their set will be happy to get these at this price, I'm sure. Bob, are fears still on, Bob? Did you end up finding that bottle I was talking about? I'm pretty sure this is an antique onion bottle in this sale. There's actually a number of really cool things. Oh, that one's up to $30 right now. Maybe that one's a little more challenging to find. $30 the bid. Will it get to 35? It did. 35. $35. Will it get to 40? 35. Looking for 40. Now 40. There, I'm officially almost at break even on that thing now. I sold some things at auction recently. The fees were too much. 410 got two sold for 410. Got 250. That's too much. Yeah, the auction fees are definitely high, and I don't know. People are they collecting as much? What do you guys think? Are people still collecting like they used to? Are people taking a break from it? Have they moved into different things? Seems to me that the younger generation is collecting quite a bit, but it's mostly like Pokemon cards and maybe some comics and things like that. I don't know what the market is going to be like for higher end collectibles down the road. But lucky for me, I'm not sitting on a pile of inventory, so I don't have to stress too much. And I noticed in the last little while that prices have shifted greatly on certain things. The price of oil cans and gasoline signs and stuff and gas pumps that used to be through the roof is now probably a fraction of what it was even 4 or 5 years ago. That said, I still look for those things because there's still people that buy it. It's just you have to readjust what you pay for stuff because prices can vary really within a month or two. Antiques are kind of like stocks in the stock market. They go up, they go down. Chewbacca PSA 8. Who doesn't want a Chewbacca insert card? Limited edition, $15. You'd think he'd be one of the more desirable ones to get. Collecting, to me, as somebody says, has gone to more smaller things like cards and records they can frame, put on a wall. Doesn't take up much space. I agree. $30 bid. Had a little bit of a run there from 15 to 30. Will we get to 35? 35. Now 40. If you do Whatnot live sales, you would have to do the postage, but your following would probably grow. I have done a Whatnot sale, and it did fine. It was okay. The problem is, and I've said it before, selling 1,700 things, I don't want to have to do 1,700 trips to the post office. Well, I mean, I guess I could do one trip just with a whole bunch of stuff. I might look at that down the road for some smaller stuff that I have, but this is the right now the easiest way for me to move mass amounts of things, but then I might not be getting the best dollar. Like I might be getting much more for something like this, these Star Wars cards on a Whatnot site than I am on this particular auction, but we're still getting bids nonetheless. And even though, and I'll be honest, as of right now, these cards selling at $15 is a money losing proposition because I paid probably double that. They are going to be out of my house. and I like to keep things fairly thin around here. And that said, and I've said this before too, that some things will go low and some things will go higher. And at the end, generally, it's kind of a flat line of getting some money back. So 1940s Gruen, very thin gold fill watch. And I did test this one. It wound up and started ticking away. $80 a bit on that. Will it go for 90? Let's see, $80 a bid, $80. Sold for 80. There's a Taverna gold plated watch. That one works as well. 1940 style. The 40s were a much smaller style, the tank style watch, but 2250 on that one. And off it goes. Or will it get to 25? No, off it goes. There's a few watches for repair. Some older pieces there, $15. We do have, and we are getting to, I think, fairly soon here. Yeah, there's a Rolex Emeritus, which is a good watch. That one is, what, 5087. We're getting close to it. I'm going to run the live stream here for a little while. So, like, when you see these sort of watches, you find them all the time at garage sales or at antique shows and stuff. Don't ever pay a whole lot for them, because although they're cool and they're from the 50s, you know, I'm at $30 on this one right now, and they're going to take their auction fees. So, you know, if you see one for $100, it's probably too much. You got to be kind of in that $20, $30 mark on some of this stuff. Depends on the watch, of course, and the brand name, but Bulova's not a bad brand. 1920s men's gold fill watch works, and it's got sort of a special cuffed strap. $60 a bit on that. Yeah, we get into some pocket knives here. Ward Air pilots badges, cap badges and stuff. Oh, there's another watch, $70. I'm probably making money on some of these watches because I probably bought these as part of a collection of watches, and maybe I paid X amount of dollars for a whole bag of them or something. So by breaking the better ones out and selling them like this, I am probably getting some money back. There's a lady's, Longines is a good brand, actually. It needs a battery, but Longines is a better brand. Echo Marta says, this live is the perfect background for me while I pack my house and move. You could just pack all your stuff up and take it right to an auction. $22.50 the bid now, looking for $25. Will we get to $25? 10 seconds remaining, $22.50 on that. And, oh yeah, 25, there it is. It's funny, I don't think they do that on an auction. If it was a real auctioneer, they don't go, oh, well, somebody bid. Imagine that. Usually it's, how many? Oh, $25, now looking for $30. They're much more excited about things. That is the benefit of being part of a live auction event with an auctioneer, is that they do a great job, a really great job of getting you all excited. Here's a bunch of old rings. Probably costume jewelry rings, $50 is the bid on that. You bling yourself up for a couple bucks a finger. I used to be $5 a finger. United Little Buffalo pocket knife with box, $40 a bit. And the can, the pop can, or beer can, or whatever that is not included. That's just for scale. I'm sure most of you know that. Plus, it looks like somebody's already drank it. Okay, there we go. No auction, but lots of decluttering and donating, she says. Some stuff sold online, but not even close to the amount of stuff you sell. It is a good feeling. You know, when we moved, I got rid of a ton of things, and we donated so much to charity. It's surprising that, you know, when you're in a house for a while, and we were in our last house almost 20 years, that, you know, you find corners for things, or you hang up a kid's coat in the basement, you know, their winter coat, and you kind of forget about it, and then they grow out of it, and you start going through your basement when you're moving, and you're going, holy cow, we have like 15 snowsuits for the kids that don't fit anymore. For those of you in a warmer climate, you probably don't have to worry about snowsuits for your kids, but here it's a rite of passage. You get the big puffy pants and the big puffy jacket, and you wrap the scarf around your head a bunch of times, pretty much like the Christmas Story movie. Ward Air Pilot's cap badge, that's a cool piece. Somebody should bid on that, $15. Ward Air hasn't been around for a while. They were a Canadian-only airline, and you'd think somebody would think that's cool for $15, especially an airline collector. But alas, it shall go later. An antique Irish police cap badge for the Ulster Police Force. You know, that's a terrible picture. They put more emphasis on the pop can than they did on the actual item itself, which is driving me a little nuts. Like, I get that the can is there for scale, and I'm griping right now, but why not show the thing in detail rather than just have it sitting there at the bottom? That's a cool piece. Oh well. Sometimes you just scratch your head and wonder what they're thinking when they take these photographs. 1960s Timex automatic wristwatch in working condition, $60 a bit on that. And I am glad to see some of these things finding new homes. What is this? I can't remember what that is. That looks like it's a Marvel character or something. Somebody know what that mask is from? Anyway, $45. Yeah, use a coin for scale of small items, not a beer can. Agreed. I'm gonna give them that feedback because the pop can thing is just, look at that. They don't even, they take a picture of a pop can with a thing next to it, but the thing next to it is this really cool horse racing gambling spinner top that you spin it and it tells you, you know, what the odds are and stuff. It's a neat piece. Can't even see it because it's so small compared to the pop can. Yeah. It's one of those things. One of those things. Oh, it's Doom. MF Doom, somebody says. Okay, that's what the ring was. Well, somebody can walk around with a Doom finger. 1960s Timex automatic, $50. I don't remember where I got half these watches from. You know, you buy lots of things from people and you end up, you know, you go through their basement and, you know, dad had some old watches in the bottom of a sock drawer and you throw them all together or whatever and you end up with this stuff. But we are cleaning house and getting ready for whatever the next adventure is going to be. 1933, it doesn't have the swastika on it, but unfortunately that is part of our history. I would take a photo of the watch itself, not including a strap you can get anywhere. Yeah. Well, then they'd have to take I think that at a normal auction, what they do is they put it on a watch stand. Oh, this is cool. This is sterling silver. You can't, if you can even see that. It's a, oh, darn it, I can't even move the camera down to show you guys. It's a sterling silver typewriter pendant, which is so cool. Oh, and off it went. Nobody even bid on it. I say that's 100% the fault of not great pictures on that. Anyway, $25 on the jewelry box full of stuff. Some pendants and charms and things in there, $25. Be fun for somebody to go through. 10-karat gold ring with a ruby heart and a little crown. Oh, it's hands holding the heart. If you actually look at it, it's hands kind of like that. $200 a bid on that. As an antique piece, $200. Yeah, time to give some photographer hints. And they've changed their photographer now a few times. They've had different people take that role. But I will certainly give feedback to the auction house on that because it's a little annoying. Vintage jade earrings, probably with, I don't know if those are diamonds in there or what, but little jade stone earrings, $100 on that. And we get us a nice, oh, the Rolex is coming up. We'll see what that gets to. Yeah, they should just use a coin or something. I think you're right. They should use like a quarter because a lot of people know how big a quarter is or a dime. Irish Cladog ring. I don't think I said that right. It was an Irish ring. Scrimshaw tie and money clip. Oh, there's the Rolex right there. $2,300 a bid on that. This watch, incidentally, should probably be somewhere around $3,500 to $4,500. So we'll see if we get a little bit better than that. $2,300. Oh, last call already. How are they moving so fast through this stuff, especially the big stuff? $2,300 bid on that with a appraisal that appraises it at $5,000 or $6,000. And did it freeze? Oh, it comes with an appraisal. Yes. Well, $2,300 bid. Comes with appraisal, automatic. And then maybe they can post what the appraisal says, that it's worth, I think, $5,000 or $6,000 what they put on it. Oh, well, that'll be a little disappointing. but that'll be one of the cheapest Rolexes, vintage Rolexes. Essentially, it's a 50s Rolex Explorer that was sold in Canada under the Meritus name. But an Explorer is an easy $5,000 to $7,000 watch. Oh, $7,500. Yeah, that's one that maybe I probably shouldn't put through this auction. Well, I guess we'll see who wants a vintage Rolex today. One person does. They'll be quite pleased to get an actual vintage Rolex at that price. 2,300, 2,325. They're trying to get even 25 extra dollars. So there you go, 2,325, now 2,350. Now 2,375. So they got an extra $50 out of it. That's something. Now, okay, whew, people were sitting on their hands. Now 2,400. Now 2,425. Yep. Now 2,475. Oh, this is the slow crawl. I'm glad that they were taking their time to at least get an extra $100 or $50 out of this. This is like the slow crawl up a sandy embankment. Why am I working so hard to barely get anywhere? 24.50 the bid right now, 24.75. You're not going to find a 1950s Rolex, and it's a 34 mil. It's a good size. It's a men's Rolex watch. It's your traditional standard size. It's an automatic. Has the same movement as the higher, like really expensive watches. 24.75, now 2,500. Now looking for 25.25. That's right, guys. Sit on it for a minute. Don't let it go for 25 bucks. 2,500 bid right now. Oh my gosh, this is giving me anxiety. No, it's a replacement appraisal, not an insurance appraisal. These do regularly sell online for quite a bit more than that, but that's okay. It even has the box, the 1950s box with it too. 2,500 bid. I thought for sure you're gonna sell that on eBay. I learned my lesson a long time ago with sending antiques and collectibles through auction and made nothing. Well, sometimes they do okay on here. You know, they are at 2,500 and 25.25. Oh, they got the timer on, guys. You know, all that said, I have better use of 2,500 bucks right now than I do of having that watch sitting in a safe somewhere. So I'd rather have whatever money I'm going to get for it, but on the other hand, somebody's getting a killer deal. And if I would have seen that online for 2,500, you know, even last year, I probably would have made an offer on it myself because I know that's a great deal. 25.25, will we get there? Oh, don't lose it over 25 bucks. Whoever that second, the bidder was, that other bidder. Let's see if it'll climb anymore. 7 seconds remaining. Oh, no, they bumped up to 17, 25.25. Oh, I'm back. I'm laying back in my chair watching this one because whoo, 25.25. I have let's see, $2,500 Rolex. It is something that keeps time on your watch that your phone does for you, but it's a Rolex. Let's see. I see people are saying hello to each other in the comments now too. People are starting to talk amongst themselves. Oh, wow. 25.50. Okay, went up 50 bucks. This person was really just waiting for the last minute. You know, it'd be great if this just kept climbing. I guess we'll see. But I would say that realistically, this is probably a $5,000 watch is what the going rate on something like that would be. But this gives us an idea of what things are quote unquote worth in terms of what somebody's asking for it and what something will actually sell for. So will it get close to what it is worth? Maybe, maybe not. Will it get close to the appraisal? That might be a stretch. And the appraisal was for $7,500. So we are sitting here stalled out at $2,575. And they put the timer back on again. Obviously, they think that they're working. I can see the auction is working for me. They're trying to get the they're trying to get the bid. And this is in Canadian funds, by the way. So 2,500 Canadian is like 2,000, maybe 1,900 US, something like that. There's an antique necklace with an antique pendant, $80. Well, off it went. And And another picture of a beer can, and another picture of a beer can. Silver pencil pendant with chain. That actually has a lead inside of it for scrawling, probably for a chatelaine. I would think that's what that would have been for. There's another Rolex coming up here too, this military watch. These mid-size watches don't typically sell for as much. Seiko World Time watch. I never did put a battery in it, but it does have the box and papers. $225 on that. No, Zoltar was really expensive. Zoltar was like $20,000. So he said $2,500 you could buy Zoltar back. No, Zoltar was pricey. These calculator kind of looking watches are actually kind of gaining in popularity with the younger folks who wear them, I think, ironically. $300 on that. These were, I mean, you can see the price new was $225. So you could have worn that watch your whole life, kept putting batteries in it, and made $75 at the end of the day. Stone pendant with dolphin clasp, $15. We're getting close to the other Rolex. We'll see if that one does any better. How are you doing today? Would love to see a tour of the house. Maybe at some point we can. There's a 14 karat gold link necklace with a case. $190 bid on that. The price of gold going up the ways it is, probably fairly safe investment. Actually, I don't even know what the scrap would have been on that. Probably even maybe more than $190. Okay, here's the other Rolex. This is a World War II watch, though. This would have been worn during wartime. You could have bought these at the Canexes at the base as an upgraded watch. It's mid-size. It does work. Has a screw-down crown. $1,500 the bid. Will it go for 16, 15? Okay, they're going to try 15.25. We'll see. And I'm going to take us here. Sometimes it's good for my best print I got at auction for $10 so no one knew who Thomas Hart Benton was. Sold on eBay for $3,500. Well, you did well. Actually, as we're talking here, what is the best thing that you have found? And what's the best profit you got from it? Put in the comments. I'm curious to know what all your sleuthing and treasure hunting has provided for you guys over the years. And hear what your best finds are. In the meantime, there's a antique necklace with a fancy clasp sold, and a silver Jubilee coin bid at $30 right now. I'm just waiting to read the comments as they start popping up. I haven't seen any come through yet. The question was, what's the best thing you have found? And what do you think the profit would be on it? There's a whole bunch of antique magic lantern slides. Those are cool. $15 the bid on that. $5,000 for Ming vase that I paid $500 for, also on eBay. The greatest thing I found was the friends I made along the way. Yes, Gary, that is an appropriate response. Premier's Conference sterling silver spoon set from 1966. So obviously that was given to one of the premiers, which is like, I guess, our version of a governor, I think. $170 it sold for. $60 on team signed Montreal Expos baseball. $60 bid on that. There was a few big names on that ball. $60. Is there anything I've regretted putting up for auction? I wouldn't say regretted. There are things that I'm sure, like that Rolex that sold a little while ago, that I could have gotten more money for elsewhere. But regret, not really. I mean, if I decided that it was time for it to sell and it sold, it accomplished what I wanted it to accomplish. So you can't really live in regrets over an object, something that you can't take with you beyond the grave anyhow. You just get to, you can learn from, how you made it, how you could have maximized profit. Because at the end of the day, the whole point of buying and selling stuff isn't to own everything, because you can't own anything, really. The point is that you enjoy something, you preserve its history, maybe you have it on your shelf and it tells a story when people come to visit. You'll enjoy something. That's worthy. The other thing is, for me, with buying and selling stuff, that the profits that I make, or when I do these sales, it's really just so that my wife and kids have a good shot at a good life. You know, that we have a nice house and they go to university, have a chance at a good life, and maybe we can go for a nice dinner once in a while, enjoy going on vacation. Those are the things that matter in life. Good food, friends, family, seeing things, enjoying experiences. Those things matter the most. So I don't regret, maybe listing something for sale. Maybe I regret the way I sold it. Um, but you take your lumps and you move along. My wife sold 3 Beanie Babies back when they're popular for $900. That's pretty good. These are kind of cool. They're carved horn salt and pepper shakers. So somebody collects salt and pepper shakers. Those are kind of an odd thing. I'm not sure if the top of those was silver or not. Anyway, some odd stuff. A bunch of $1 bills. I'm just wearing my usual watch today. I'm wearing my Japanese Omega Speedmaster, which is my daily watch. Family comes first. You're right, Susan. Oh yeah, the cast iron Christmas tree stand with a deer on it that came from one of my other auctions. Gary says he bought and gave it to Mom. That's good. When we're looking at something like this, when we're doing an auction sale in terms of profit, you really hope you're going to make about 50% profit. So you buy it for 10, you sell it for 20. That's not always the case. Sometimes you end up losing on things, and sometimes you end up making on better on others. But the rule is typically I try and work with a 50% margin, maybe even a little bit less than that, or a little bit more than I should say. Somebody said they sold a rare Stife roly-poly teddy bear for $6,500 US, and they found it in the trash. Wow. Yeah. I mean, the nicer thing about this is taking stuff that was in a basement or hidden or buried and finding the right home for it. And it gets to somebody who's going to enjoy it, do something with it. That's more worthwhile. This is a vintage cameo bracelet. Let's see. It's amazing to see some of the things people throw in their trash. I know the stuff people throw out. Somebody had a little bisque German doll, and they bought it for pennies, and they didn't realize what it was, and then they sold it for over 400 British pounds. That's a good profit. Seems like many car restorers sell their cars when they're done. The fun is in the project and the parts hunt. That's kind of how I feel a little bit about things. I do have cars that I just really enjoy driving. That yellow Jag that I bought, that I popped the dent out of and touched up, that is just a lovely car to drive. So I do have things that I just really enjoy the experience of. But for me, there is certainly the majority of the fun is in the finding, the polishing, the cleaning. And then once you kind of get to that point, you go, well, do I need this or do I not need this? Bear Hardcore Picker says, yeah, rescued lots from the trash. Gold, silver, old tin toys. A bunch of World War II sweetheart pins. Again, really small picture here. When you restore a car and then sell it, it's like you're selling a painting you did. Yeah, yeah. Somebody else will enjoy it next, but I really enjoy the hunt. If you haven't learned that about me, my most favorite thing to do is go and find things. And then, it's on to the next thing. And Glenn says, you did a great job with the nose repair on the Jag. You know what? I don't often toot my own horn. And certainly there's things I could have done a little bit better or different, but it came out real good. In fact, you can stand right in front of it and not even tell that I color matched the paint and wet sanded and blended it in. It came out so good. So yeah, that crashed up old Jag looks really nice right now, and I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. Missed the house clearances. I will probably get back into those again. It just really depends on, you have to understand there's also stuff going on in my world that makes it challenging to do a house clear out right now in terms of time and what I have going on. So I can go and do a walkthrough visit like I did with the video that I put out today of the exploring the abandoned 1980s mansion, which if you haven't watched that video after we're done here, you should watch it for sure. Susan says, I still love that blue E-Type you had. Yeah, that was a cool vehicle. You must have a lot of self-discipline not to keep everything though. Certain things are hard to part with. Really, honestly, at this point, nothing is hard to part with. When you've gone through loss and lost family members, or when you deal with people's estates, the one thing it gives you is perspective, that you can enjoy something for a period of time, but at some point it's going to be somebody else's thing to deal with. You know, whether it's your kids or your family or friends or whoever the stuff is left to, you only get to enjoy it while you're alive, right? So the way I look at it is if I have things that aren't bringing joy to me, I don't know if it's that, what was that, Mary, is it Condro, or I can't remember her name. She was the organizer, the Japanese lady, I think she was. But she always used to say, does it bring you joy? And then she'd get people to get rid of stuff. I kind of feel the same way. If it's not bringing me joy, or it's not doing much for me, then I have no issues getting rid of it. Antique necklace with pocket knife pendant. That all said, you know, sometimes you aim for different things. So maybe if you, what's an example? If you collected old cars and your dream car was an old Ferrari or something, and you had, in my case, like beat up old 1960s Fords and stuff, because that's what I could afford when I was a kid. It's not that I didn't like the old 64 Ford and I had fun driving it around. It's just you kind of sell it and trade and get things that are a little more aspirational. Marie Kondo, yeah. So you kind of sell and upgrade and move and change and do things. I think your collection has to stay liquid. It has to stay, you know, I do have things that I have not sold because I have just always liked them. Like I have a collection of Corgi toys from the 1960s and 70s that are of movies and TV shows. And I have them all in the boxes. And so when I come across one of those that I don't have, I'll certainly pick it up. This is a cool brooch. It's a pistol with a little stone, probably a nice little bit of amber or something in there. That is probably from the 1800s or so. It's just a really neat piece. Anyway, 1750 on that. Tiny little miniature brass periscopes and a little compass, $17.50. Let's see. What do you do with the items that don't get purchased on this auction? Gene, so to answer your question for you, when something doesn't get purchased, like it doesn't sell, what they'll do is they'll run it through this sale again at the tail end. So anything that was passed will go to the end of this auction, and it'll get a second shot for bids at the end of the sale. If it doesn't sell in this auction, they will try another auction sale that they'll have down the road. And if for some reason they've tried it at several sales and the things don't sell, then they just call me to come pick it up. But I find that typically everything sells. It just has to go through a sale or two, and then it'll find the right home. Necklaces and pendants going through right now. What is the next? We've got some thistle pendants, lots of jewelry coming up here. Miniature knives, assorted collectibles. This is just there's just a lot of stuff in the sale. There's coins. I'm just scrolling through right now. Coins, pocket knives, jewelry. Oh, there's a bunch of sports cards and daggers and all that Japanese armor, which isn't mine, but it's really cool. Somebody else can sign that with the sale. And I was super jealous because I would love to have one of those Japanese things. In fact, I put a bid on one. So if you saw that I bid on one of the Japanese pieces of armor, it's not my own thing. It's somebody else can sign it. But I was like, ooh, that's really cool. And I saw them in person and they look pretty good. I've only ever seen that stuff at the Metropolitan Museum in New York. I've never seen it like out at an auction randomly in Edmonton. So I thought that was pretty nifty. I probably missed some. I don't know what brand the periscopes were. Some auctions will put stuff that didn't sell through another auction sale. Yeah, they'll just put it through. If they have a sale like tomorrow, a Sunday sale, they might just tag it in on that and see if somebody bids on it. You're right. Silver cross and a beaded necklace, $17.50. And some of these cross, like that's probably a 1800s, early 1900s cross and necklace set If I recall, that was a real old one. $22. Some of the stuff that I got that is going up for sale here goes back to the 1700s or 1800s. It was some really nice antiques. In fact, like there's some old snuff bottles that are coming up here that are solid silver that are really quite old and rare. There's also those really neat typewriter bracelets. So somebody took typewriter keys and made bracelets out of them to spell certain things. Antique beaded necklace with a crystal point, $15 on that. Now 20, now 25, now 30. Let's see, will it go any higher? $30 bid on the crystal point necklace. Will it get to 35? The reason we did this sale right now is because we are in November, mid-November, and if you're buying Christmas presents, this would have given somebody an opportunity to buy something at the sale and get it shipped to their house and hopefully get it in time. Antique necklace with silver pendant, $70 bid on that. So there was some strategy to trying to get the sale at this particular time. I guess we'll see. I'll find out after the sale when I talk to the owner of the auction how everything went and how we all did. There's a nice little antique Scottish thistle brooch, $22.50. Actually, that looks more like a pendant. $35 on that. Will it get to 40? I guess we'll find out. By the way, thank you guys for watching the channel and watching my videos. And some of you, how long have you guys been on the channel for? I'm curious to know that. It's, what have we been on? For 8 years, I think now, or more. Julie says, I have a son and family who are in the US and recently moved from Texas to Connecticut, and they are my priority to visit. Yep, family's always good to go visit and spend time with your family. Oh, Invest Connect says they've been on since 2019. Well, thanks. That's a while now. This is just before the Potter's House. 7 years watching. Okay, so here's a question I have for you guys. I know that some of you like when I do the house clear out series, but what if I also did more videos where I was also just hanging out with my friends again, like with Josh or with Bill or Bob, and finding things to do with those guys? The challenge with the house clear outs has been when they do come around, and they do come around, I have developed some bad back issues, so I'm trying hard not to overdo it myself. So I haven't taken a lot of those things because honestly, those house clear outs are really bad for my health. I'm sore afterwards, and a lot of times it's unhealthy environments with mice and stuff in there, and I am just sick as a dog for months and months. So that's probably more of the reason why you haven't seen me do too many house clear outs lately, because I don't want to be crippled over in pain and sick as a dog. But maybe there's some other stuff I can think of that would be fun. Rose says, before you found the Potter's House and haven't missed any yet. Oh, that's nice. I hope that you guys have your notifications turned on, because I've noticed we have an awful lot of subscribers and not everybody gets the videos when we put them out. And we put out some pretty cool stuff, I think. Cool adventures. I think the video today, I'm pretty sure you'll find interesting. The one that came out at about an hour or two ago. So make sure you got the notification bell turned on. There's another dagger pin there. Silver cent locket with chain. That's so you'd put a little potpourri or something in there if you walk through a stinky neighborhood back in the 17 or 8. That might be actually 1700s or early 1800s. $15 on that. It is still a sterling silver piece of history there. 15 bucks. I miss you being with your friends. Melissa says, I think I'm your first subscriber. You know, that's not true, Melissa. You're not our first subscriber, because I remember we posted a video and then it said we had a subscriber, and I yelled downstairs and said, did you subscribe? And she said, no, I haven't yet. So that means there's some mystery subscriber that's been with us since before even my wife. I'm curious who that person was. You know, sometimes I think it might just be fun to have videos where it's just me hanging out with my friends, just kind of a group chat and talk and letting you guys join in on it. I do like hunting and looking for stuff, though. So that will always still happen. Yeah, Melissa, you still made top 10, though. Potter's House was definitely a big series for us. That's where we went from like 100,000 subscribers, and it just went up to almost 500,000 instantly. And I've been there ever since. Somebody said they did 23andMe and they couldn't believe it. They aren't related to me. I know. I am still thinking I might have some other mystery relatives out there that I haven't met yet, and still waiting on that to happen. But guys, this sale is happening live right now. Oh, somebody was watching. I forgot I did an interview on Radio New Zealand about the Potter's House. The auction is going to be running now for until probably later this afternoon, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock. So if you want to check it out, go to kauctions.ca and look for the auction sale, and you can place bids and you can get stuff. And the prices seem to be quite fair today. So I would say it's worth checking out if you haven't logged into the auction site yet. A lot of you I know have Kastner auction accounts, so you can log in pretty easy. As for me, I'm gonna, we were talking about family and how that's important. I'm gonna go have some lunch with my wife and kids, and I'm gonna go visit my mom and see what my mom's up to. So hope you guys are all well. This auction will continue. Oh, I guess I should turn this around. There we go. Hey. So yeah, please stay tuned for more episodes. Lots of stuff going on. I have a ton of videos scheduled throughout November and December. I think it's every couple of days I've got an auction happening. But guys, the auction is on right now. Check it out. Make sure to check for future videos, future auction sales, and gosh, there's a lot going on around here. But guys, you can get yourself some good deals at the sale today. Thank you for watching today's live stream, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, guys.